In this lecture, we'll learn about Python function or method. Function or method is a code block where we can do anything based on our need. Like we can do addition, subtraction, multiplication, or write any condition or any loop, whatever we need. If function is declared or written inside a class, then it's called method. To write a function or method in Python, we need to use the keyword def and then space and the name of the function, just like we did for declaring a variable. So def, and let's name our function addition. Add opening and closing parentheses, and to create function block we need to use colon. In Python we use colon to create any code block. It can be for if block or for while block or function block. Now let's hit enter, and here we want to add two values. Let's add 10 plus 15 and print it. And now to run and execute the function, we have to call the function. To call a function, simply we need to write the function name and use opening and closing parentheses. So let's call the function. Press enter and come in the line of the definition of function and call the function addition. And now let's run the program to test. Great, we can see our output. Now every time we call the function, it will always print 25. What if we want to make it dynamic? To do so, we have to declare two variables inside the function parentheses. Here, let's name the variable first number and second number. And we have to separate these variables using comma. We can pass as many variables we need, but after every variable we have to use comma. But we don't need to use comma at the end of our last variable. These variables are called parameters. And now let's replace these values 10 and 15 with the parameters. So here, first number and second number. And now if we run our program, we will get nothing. See, we're getting no result. Rather, we're getting one error. It's saying missing two required positional arguments, first number and second number. To resolve this problem, we have to pass argument values to our function. At our first parameter or first argument, we want to pass 10, and at our second parameter or second argument, we want to pass 25. Like in the function parentheses, we have used comma to separate two variables. We have to do the same thing in our function arguments. We have to use comma to separate multiple values. So 10, 25. No, let's make it 15. Now let's run the program again to test. Great, it's working fine. Now we can pass any value if we want and check it. Like instead of 10, let's pass 100, and instead of 15, let's pass 150 and run the program again to test. Well, if we need to use this addition value, the function value what we can see in our output, in somewhere else, like if we want to assign in a variable and then reuse this value somewhere else, how can we do that? Let's try assigning into variable first. I'm naming the variable result and assigning the output of our function. And now To test, I'm printing the result variable and removing this print statement from here and running the program again to test. We can see it has returned none, but we need the output whatever we do inside our function. Like for now, we are doing addition. So we are expecting the addition of two values as our output. To get that, we have to return it. Whatever we do in our function and whatever the result or outcome comes from our function, if we return that, then we can reuse it. Let's try returning the addition statement and run the program again. Awesome, it's working perfectly. We have already used a lot of functions in our previous lectures, like print function and range function, len function, etc. In our next lectures, we will use a lot of functions and also a lot of methods. Whenever I will call it's a method, be sure it's written inside one class. And whenever I will call something as function, be sure it's not written inside any class. So let's get ready to learn something more exciting in our next lectures.